In the name of Allah, the beneficent and merciful, thank you all for joining us this evening, taking time out of your busy schedules. We are the Jock Brothers. It's 7:30 and we're live. Today we have special guests. Our title of the show is Unwrapped Gifts. But before we get into the show, let me introduce my brothers, my co-hosts, the brothers, Brother Jackie and Carwee. They're my friends, they're fathers, they're entrepreneurs, they're soldiers in the cause of truth. Let's bring them on one by one. First, let's bring on my brother, your brother, Brother Carwee, with a strong round of Jock Brothers round of applause.
All praises are due to Allah. Thank you again for tuning in to the Jock Brothers. We have a great show for you tonight. We're celebrating one of our junior FOI. A tremendous accomplishment we want to highlight tonight. So please enjoy. Please share the show. Thank you.
Thank you. And next, let's bring on my other co-host, my brother, my friend, Brother Jackie Muhammad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Ahmed. Thank you. Yeah, Jock Nation, this is one of my favorite shows, a favorite topic, Unwrapped Gifts. And this is a beautiful show, well-deserved. So we definitely hope that you tune in and really see what we can do as a community. Look, Jock Nation, we need your help. We need you to like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, share. We also need your help with this initiative. We want to get this final call behind the prison walls in the belly of the beast. So we definitely need your support. We're asking you to send in to that Cash App, Jock Bros, $ Jock Bros, and sponsor an inmate, brother or sister, juvenile, what have you. And you are sponsoring the final call. We want to get that final call in the prison, behind the prison walls, the juvenile walls, local, state, wherever we can get it, because they need the truth and we need your help. So if you can support $ Jock Bros and support one of our brothers and sisters. If you have any information on a brother or sister who you would like to support in particular, please send that information to jockbrothersviewers@gmail.com. Send that information with their name, the inmate number if you can, the warden, all the information you can gather, because definitely there are roadblocks, and as much information as you give us, we can help fight and get that word behind those prison walls. So we would like to thank you for your continual support of the Jock Brothers. Thank you, Jock Nation. That's all I have. Back to you, Ahmed. Did we lose him?
It looked like we did. Okay, all right.
Go ahead, Kawi.
Let's get back to work. Oh, there you go.
Okay, back to you, Ahmed.
Our show tonight is designed to highlight one of our brothers. He's a youth. He's graduating high school at the age of 14, when most youths are embarking on their high school education, just entering the high school. We want to focus on him and his mindset, his attitude, his moral character. We also have his mother on, and we're taught to reverence the womb that bore us. So we brought the mother on just so we can see the mindset and the struggles and strives that produced such a young man. I want to quote something from the Bible really quick. 1 Corinthians 12.
Uh-oh. Go ahead, Pastor. Yes, sir.
Excuse me, audience. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. and there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God which worketh in it all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, and to another faith by the same Spirit, to another gifts of healing by the same Spirit.
Amen.
I wanted to give, because we're all given gifts, and some of us are given moral and spiritual gifts, but some of us are given gifts of wisdom and knowledge. And tonight we are going to dive in on this brother, and praise be to Allah for his mother, and praise be to Allah for the gift that has been given through that channel to this young man. So we're going to start by introducing our sister. She was born and raised in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland. She's a second-generation Muslim who's been in the nation all her life. Doesn't say what year she's been registered, but we'll find that out in our small interview here. She's a proud mother of a son, West Muhammad, and her youngest son, God Muhammad? God Muhammad. You can find Sister Tia, her name is Sister Tia. You can find our sister working on ways to improve herself and her family, whether she's embarking on a self-healing journey or pushing her son, Brother West, to the next level and spending quality time with her family. Thank you, Sister Tia. We'd like to thank you for joining on our show, and we'd like to bring you on with a strong Jock Brothers round of applause. Please welcome our sister, your sister, Sister Tia Muhammad.
That's right. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. Again, like I said earlier, we're taught from the womb that forth, so we're glad to bring you on to talk about your endeavors in life.
We're not hearing
You
them.
breaking up, Bob? You coming in choppy?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
We wanted to speak about your strives and your endeavors in a little bit. If you could speak a little bit about yourself, from what I understand, you're in law enforcement.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. What channel or what branch in law enforcement are you in?
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you. First, I would like to open up in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. And I again want to greet all of the brothers, the Jock Brothers, and the listening audience, and the greeting words of peace and paradise of Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. So I'm a parole officer, and I've been a parole officer for 18 years. We have 20-year retirement, so inshallah I'll be retiring in 2 years. I'm going to take that 20, and so I can get my pension. But though some of the important things that I've learned along my journey were, I've studied Black men. I deal with the men. I don't work with the youth. So I study Black men by very important leaders such as Elijah Muhammad by way of Message to the Black Man. But I also expand and I go a little bit further to some of his students and his admirers. I studied Dick Gregory and one of my favorite, Dr. Jawanza Kamfuji.
Dr. Jawanza Kanjufu.
Dr. Kawanza
Kanjufu.
And one of his works that spoke to me loudly and still resonates to this day is the conspiracy to destroy Black boys. And I believe it's Black men, actually. But one of his points is that if he stops, that if they're destroyed as a boy, they can never become a man. Mm-hmm. I studied that. I study the How to Eat to Live, just so many 48 laws of power, so many people that had come before us to lay out these foundations as to what hinder our men from growing and as to what strengthen them as well. So being a parole officer, I used everything that I've learned from my clients, and I did the opposite to my son, Brother West. Like I said, I've been there for 18 years. So one of the fortunate things, I know that we talk about putting the final call in the prison industry, but one of the fortunate things that advice that I've received along my journey was from one of our believers here in the Nation of Islam that unfortunately is incarcerated. And he taught me from the beginning to maintain your femininity, to succumb to the hardness that a position like that could put on you.
That's right.
So being a member, MGT, a member of the Nation of Islam, I'm able to walk my journey as a parole officer with my head held high, to keep our standards intact, to maintain who I am, because a very long time ago, I've accepted my own and became myself. And all of the clients that I have had and encountered over the past 18 years respect me. And to no surprise at all, they're familiar with the final call. They're familiar with Message to the Black Man. They're familiar with How to Eat to Live. They're familiar with Our Savior Have Arrived. So each time when I meet with these clients and police officers as well, I proudly put a book on the table. And it doesn't matter what their nationality is. They're very familiar with that black and red book, Message to the Black Man. And so, yeah, that's what I do as a parole officer. And I'm very proud and honored to wear that badge along with this draped scarf that I wear to all of my meetings, whether I'm in court or doing a home visit or meeting with my clients one-on-one. I'm honored to be an MGT, a member of the Nation of Islam.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah.
Before you go up, man, I'm so happy you said you was proud to wear that badge, because for a long time, I'm from a different, I grew up in different environment, and where the police, we look at them a certain way, and when I joined the Nation, it never changed, because the police and the Nation of Islam has a history. But we had a brother on who's a police officer before, and he said to us, he was like, at one point, as some members didn't respect believers being polices. And he said, well, who would you rather deal with when you come up to a police or a parole officer or whatnot? Who would you rather deal with? Someone from the street or a believer? And it was, I don't know, it just blah. Yeah. So I'm glad you said that, because we do need believers in that area. I mean, as many brothers and sisters that want to be police officers, man, go do it. So thank you for that, and good work on those you deal with.
Was that Kate? Was that Linford that you got that from?
No, Minister Shaheed, I think it was.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I have a question for you, Sister Tyra.
Tia.
I'm sorry, Tia. My apologies. Let's talk about West Hub. At what? Now I know you as mother, so I know parents gonna always look at their child, in the softest or in the best of light. But if you can put it aside for a moment, I just want to ask: at what age did you realize that West was different? At what age did you realize that he got gifts, or he's a little bit more advanced than the usual child that I've come across?
So I didn't realize it on my own. He actually told me himself, and I'll be very clear in what he told me. When Wes was 3 years old, or before he was 3, maybe the summer that he was 3, I was trying to put him into an SOT, which is Student of Original Thought, which is an equivalent to Muhammad University, but it's right here in Baltimore under it was under Brother Dino and Sister Cynthia Muhammad. And I reached out to one of the administrators to see what did I need to do in order to get him into that school. So she told me everything that he needed to do, and I worked with Wes over the summer. Unfortunately, SOT, School of Original Thought, was to be closing down in about a year or so. So I went ahead and I put him into a different private school right here in Baltimore, a prestigious private school called Center for Creative Learning. And I had to pay for it, of course. And as a young mother who, just finances wasn't 100% there to support my child, I made whatever sacrifice that I could in order to make that happen. From driving him to school with a blanket because we didn't have any heat in our car, and parking my vehicle at his school, and taking the bus to work, to and from work. And so one day I picked him up from school, and I had the money in my hand to pay his tuition. And because I always only had $20 left. So it would be, am I going to put $20 in a gas tank or put $20 in a refrigerator? And so on this particular day, I was in the car and I was going through it. That was my last. And I went to the door to go get him. There were two moms at the door. They looked at me. I was teary-eyed. I had just finished crying in the car. And they said, what's going on? And I said, you know how it is. And they said, yeah, we know, but you can do it. You keep going. And so Wes got in the car, his blue and white uniform, very handsome young man, sat in the back seat. And I looked at him through the rearview mirror. And I said, is it going to be worth it? Are you going to be someone special? And this 3-year-old that's sitting right here today, he's 14 now. This 3-year-old, confidently, he didn't skip a beat, and he responded, and he said, and he looked at me through the rearview mirror in my eyes, and he said, "I'm already someone special."
Wow.
Now, do you remember that? Go ahead. Wow. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Sister T. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that gave me the motivation to keep going, and we've been 1, 2, 3 teamwork ever since.
Teamwork.
Yes, sir.
Teamwork.
And the I'm also a second generation Muslim, and in growing up, what I valued, second thing after Islam was that I valued education, because I was able to go to a private school, a Muslim school, for a short period of time, maybe a year. And then they put me in public school, and the difference was phenomenal. I never wanted to be in a public school at all after witnessing what I witnessed in the private school. So it's that I heard your journey of the school system, but did you, from those school systems, you put them in private school? I mean, in homeschool after that?
Yes. He asking you a question.
Okay, yes, sir. Wes has been homeschooled. He's still being homeschooled right now, even though he's in college, because your mother is your first teacher.
That's right.
Wes is always, as long as I'm around, he's going to receive some form of instruction from his mother, whether it be towards his diet, towards his health, towards his manhood training, anything that I can do to help push him further along. So yes, sir, there's been a combination of traditional schooling, homeschooling, private schooling. Junior FOI is a big part of his education. And yeah, there's no limit to, we're taught that the brain is a sponge. So I wouldn't limit his education to anyone. And that's why we don't give too much credit to these institutions as to what school did he attend and things of that nature, because Master Farah Muhammad is his teacher. His mom is his teacher. The Jock brothers are his teacher. And
the uncles, man.
Now knowledge it's never ending. It's a never ending journey for us.
Man,
We
Sister Tia, you balling.
could have you on.
Sister Tia, you balling. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about all the stuff. You balling. I'm telling you, you balling. Go ahead, brother. Out there.
Thank you so much.
Mm.
But now we're gonna move on and bring on the young.
Well, hold on, man. Before that, Sister Tia. I hope I'm saying it right. Sister Tia, I said it right. Okay.
Yes,
Tia,
sir.
yes, Tia.
I mean, I keep hearing everything that you're saying about what the sacrifices you're making. I know your son is now in college. Do you want to talk on some of the things that your son need to further his success in education?
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. Thank you. So I was actually pregnant with him when I walked across my graduation stage, and very young, new into my career. A lot of people didn't want Brother West to come into the world, and I did all that I could do to support him, his endeavors, his dreams. It didn't matter what it was, and I'm very proud of that. But yes, sir. Throughout my journey, I received a lot of support, such as care packages and from organizations. I was blessed to receive a computer that held me down throughout my journey. And so Brother West is a growing young man. He loves the teachings and the believers. So anything that anyone could think of in their heart, whether it be today, whether it be next year, the year after, this is a journey that's not going to end in 4 years. The Master Farah Muhammad encouraged us and said that we should have our doctorate degree by 18. So even though Wes is 14, embarking on his journey towards getting his bachelor's degree, he's actually a few years behind in terms of mathematics, and that's what Islam is. So yes, sir, praise be to Allah. Whatever anyone could donate towards his educational journey. And, he's been on these platforms sitting in the audience when money has been asked, and Mommy, can I send $2 in? Mommy, can I send in $1? Mommy, can I send in my $5? And I would cash app it right away. So yes, sir, praise be to Allah. Thank you for raising that. There is no amount that's too big or no amount that's too small. It would all go directly to his educational journey, and we greatly appreciate whatever support. If a brother wanted to mentor him, he has a business card. His card says, "Please send me a book." Black men read, Black boys read. And if there's a lecture, somebody can DM him on his Instagram, and just words of encouragement. He wants to go to Savior's Day. I couldn't be able to make that sacrifice last year, but inshallah, with the help of your supporters, I would appreciate sending my son, to Savior's Day, and so that he could continue on the journey and inspire some of our youth. Everybody deserves to see him in person, and he deserves to receive a hug from his uncles and his aunties that are out there. So please, whatever anyone can do, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
So you see the information is $ Tia Courtney. If you have any funds or any support that you would like to administer to her cause and her cause, please send that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Uncle Art Man got the whole ticket. Just tell him what you need.
Let's bring on this strong brother. Let me introduce him really quickly. He's so much. We've watched him grow over the last 4 years. It's been inspiration for us because Brother Kawi and Brother Jackie are youth mentors. We've mentored and helped through our junior FOI class, and just such an inspiration to see him grow and become a strong brother, strong man. This brother is a multi-platform communicator. He's a journalist, he's a writer, and a host for the Nation of Islam. He is special assistant to the show WHID FM, where he can be found every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's always, his product on this show is asking believers from all across the nation the most critical question: what has Islam done for you?
You're breaking up a little bit, Ahmed.
Excuse me, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What Islam has done for you, which is a very good question for him to ask believers all across the nation, because he's getting so much experience from that question. As a nation baby, he prides himself on being a Muslim believer as he bears witness of Allah coming in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. Brother West excels in the teachings. He enjoys studying the lessons, being active in junior FOI class, and bonding with the brotherhood through acts of service. He is extremely passionate about reaching out to the community with hundreds of FOI during the Savior's Day tour, which occurs annually, where the brothers visit different states and enter some of the toughest communities with love and compassion for our people. Brother West holds the title as the youngest contributor writer for the final call. Let's bring on, with a strong round of applause, our brother, your brother, our 14-year-old going into high school,
Thank you.
Black man. Let's bring him on with a strong round of applause.
Thank you.
Nephew. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Very happy to be here tonight.
Praise be to Allah. It's so good to have you, brother.
Yes, sir.
You know, we choked up over here, bro. So we gotta take our time and be patient with. But so
Right.
how was the experience of, you know, getting out of high school early? What was that journey like? You know, all the hard work plus the work we put on you with the virtual junior FOI class. I mean, we was meeting twice a week, you know, with the leadership and then regular class. So with all of that going on, what was that journey like?
Yes, sir. Well, before I answer, I must also open up in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. I too bear witness that there is no God but Allah and that Muhammad is his messenger. And I would like to greet you all with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam, sir.
Nephew.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. So over these past few days, I've been asked that question a lot. How did you get to college so early? How did you graduate high school so early? And I would say that time is really my best answer, because since that beginning that my mom mentioned and described, it's really just been us journeying through the process of, I would say, taking care of one another, you know, doing this thing. It was me and my mom, and now we have my little brother, of course. And since those times, my mom has always pushed and pursued my education or just my evolution. So since coming up from that environment, I would say I was introduced to you, the Jock Brothers, also other opportunities along the way. And those opportunities and people that did help me really molded me or helped to mold me into the young brother that you see before you today. And with those responsibilities you mentioned, being on the junior FOI class on Thursdays and Saturdays each week, it was really not just a responsibility for me and not just a commitment, but it was a brotherhood that I prided myself being a part of, and I still do pride myself being a part of, because those times really helped me to become the young brother that I am today. So, yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah.
Brother West, when I was in, I say, the 4th grade, kind of realized work was a little easy for me. Taking tests, studying, it all came out of doing homework. When did you realize that? Because even when we deal with you in junior class, things come very simple to you. Do you realize that's something you realized when you were young?
Now, you broke up a little bit. Can you repeat the question?
Is there something that you realized? Age did you realize that when you were young that things come easy to you? Because it seems like that when we introduce things to you when we put you on projects, school, is project in school and education come easy to you, or when did you realize?
Well, I would say that nothing is really easy in a sense. Now, of course, it can be challenging as far as, spending a lot of time doing something, or it can be on the lighter side, whereas you don't have to dedicate that much time or, dedication towards a subject or a project or responsibility. But nothing is really quick within, like a snap of a finger, whereas, may open a math textbook and know every answer, or read an article and understand every word. I would say I still apply those same work ethics and same principles that I came up with that my mom taught me, some that I did learn at school, and apply those to everyday life. Whereas now I'm handling more bigger projects, doing bigger work. However, it's still those things that I was instilled with from a young age that I apply to these, larger and maybe more demanding uh, projects that I have today. And then I would also say, besides those work ethics, and of course the motivation from my mother and my family, I think that belief in Allah is very important. I remember taking my first college course, and my mom was just reminding me of this today, but that it was honestly very overwhelming to come from, those more simpler tasks and more simpler assignments that I did in maybe high school and elementary school, to whereas I'm doing some more complicated work that it actually made me shed a few tears in the beginning. I didn't really think that I would be able to see today, where I have graduated high school and I'm now attending Coppin State University. All praise be to Allah. But in the beginning, it wasn't as, I would say, natural for me. But over the course of time, I've definitely grown to find a way to power through it and always lean on those work ethics and the motivation from my family to get it done. Yes.
So I know, Brother West, I know you was doing the radio show WHID.
WHIDFM, yes, sir, every Sunday.
I know that you was a constant class member of the Junior FOI. I know you were on a lot of call-outs that they did up in your area. You had a couple of other interviews that you was a part of. You started the year off in the 11th grade. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
With all of that on your plate, what was the pace like? What kind of like work schedule did you set for yourself to be able to accomplish completing 2 grades to graduate and all those other activities?
Yes, sir. Well, I would say that it really hasn't all been me. So this is why we have my mother on today, to really give her a lot more credit, because a lot of people do ask me things like, how did you do this, or what school did this, but it's honestly been my mom, and I've given her the nickname like the momager, whereas she's my mother and my manager. So she's like, you remember you have that book club tonight at 7, or did you remember to type this paper up? Did you turn that assignment in? And without those reminders, I wouldn't be as far as I am today. So really, with her help and support, and in addition to the things that she's taught me over time to help me to be a little bit more self-sufficient, I think that helped me stay on task and stay on track. So with the young brothers and young sisters that are out there, I would say that to be successful, whether you do want to achieve certain academic accomplishments at a young age, or maybe not your age, but the pace you want to go at, or if you do want to start your own business, these big responsibilities, a support system is definitely important. And also being able to lean on yourself in those times where, people aren't always available 24/7 to help you get through something. You should know how to get some things done yourself. But having a support system is definitely vital, for sure. Yes, sir.
And see, that's one of the things that we wanted to highlight. In particular, the climate is so geared, it's a lot of anger towards Black women. And we definitely wanted to highlight, man, such a beautiful story of you having a manager. What do you call it?
Momager. Momager.
A momager, yeah. So I mean, it just shows the value of Black women, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has taught us. But when you could see it, and we can all feel it. Everybody who's listening right now is riding with you. We was back there when you had $20 left.
Yes, sir.
Back there when he was 3 years old, like we're riding with you, Sister Tia. So definitely we appreciate what you have done, and then we appreciate you, Brother West, accepting her guidance, which is big. I was raised by a single mother too. I fought my mother on different, my mama always tell me, you just want to learn the hard way. And I learned the hard way.
Yes,
but
sir.
by you accepting her guidance, bro, it says a lot about you as well. And it says a lot about her, how she's able to get it over to you. So definitely we want to highlight that. And thank you both for doing such a marvelous job, man. That was
Now,
something.
now, Brother West, I know you're a young man and you're in this world. And you may strive to be not of this world, but there are video games, there's music. How do you navigate your way through those different avenues in life?
Yes, sir. Well, I would say often at the mosque, people will say like, "No, this brother, he's not 14, he's 41." Like he's definitely not in his own league, things like that. But I am still 14 years old. I still do like to hang out with friends, things like that. So in addition to those different responsibilities that I have, such as school or helping out at home or different extracurricular activities, I still do like to have fun every now and then. So you might find me listening to some music, or I like to play Minecraft every now and then. Just things to break up the monotony of day-to-day life. However, I do remember that I would say some of these games or music or some of these sources of entertainment, I'll use that, do have hidden agendas to take a lot of our attention and then plant those different seeds to, I would say, push their own agendas and turn our mindsets however they want them to go. So while I do like to enjoy, certain things such as music, game, or TV show every now and then, I do know that there are times where you do have to turn it off, or they may say something and it's like, well, let's skip that part. Or you may be playing certain games and you see it might get too violent, and it's like, all right, let's take a break from that. So I think that having that time to wind down is definitely important. However, I would say being mindful of the things we choose to indulge in is also just as important as taking that time to unwind.
Now, saying that, Brother West, if you would talk about your game developer, you also are a game developer.
Well, I wouldn't say game developer.
Give me
However,
the right term.
Yes, sir. Well, I have dabbled. I have dabbled in a little bit of coding every now and then, and I did a lot of that on smaller platforms, mostly taken from a brother that was in junior FOI class. I'll be remiss if I didn't mention him, Brother Khalik. Now, Brother Khalik, he does a lot more of the development aspects and the things that he teaches us in junior FOI class, and also Brother Carlton as well. They really spark that desire to try to create something as far as a game. Or I also did like a little bit of a cartoon, things like that, but I'm not very advanced in it. It is something that I wouldn't mind pursuing a little bit more when the time comes. But yes, sir.
Well, hold up now, brother West. We played a game
Yes, sir.
with your face on it. Well,
Yes, sir. I did do that.
well, we killed the fruit. It was an actual
Yeah.
game. It was a video game, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, don't shorten that because it was
Yes, sir.
easy for you, you know. But Ahmed can't do it right now. So no, no, but we actually played a game in class that
Yes,
you
sir.
designed, right?
Yes, sir. I remember.
A full game, right? It was a full game. You put
Yes,
your
sir.
face on there, right? With
Right.
a cartoon body, and we actually did cut the fruit.
Right. Like the slicing. Right. My
Oh,
little
baby,
brother.
brother, that's
Really,
developing the game.
yes,
You know?
sir.
And so you create. So now that you are able to see that, I wanted to point that out because you you just got through speaking of the different things of how they put little little information in the game, but now instead of you just turning it off, you went and developed one that was clean. You gave an alternative. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir.
you gave a solution to the problem that you've seen. And that's what we wanted to highlight because that's what an engineer is. An engineer is one who finds a solution. So Master Farad Muhammad told us engineer, but it's just not certain type of engineer just because it's electrical. I mean, you just a solution based brother, and we want to highlight that and
Appreciate that.
develop a game that was rated G, but it was
Yes,
just,
sir.
you know what I mean? It was
Yes,
just
sir.
like the other game that you see on PS5. So, and you did it on your own, brother. So definitely, that's not a small feat, though. So just want to highlight that, bro.
Yes, sir.
Sister Tia, can you tell me like
Yep.
about the diet that you have yourself and your son on, and how that's aided in his development to get to this point?
Come on now, good question, Kawi.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. I just always study nutrition. Nutrition has been really big for me. Studying, like I said, Elijah Muhammad, Dick Gregory's teacher, Alvinio Fulton. I've even been into Eat Right for your blood type. But nonetheless, again, going back to supporting Wes, I had did a pledge to be vegan a few years ago, and maybe he was about 4 years old. And it was like a 6-week vegan through a vegan living program. Every Saturday after MGT class, I would go there in my garment. It had to be over 100 people there. And each week they would give us information to support us on our vegan journey that we pledged for 6 weeks. Wes was sitting there. I thought he wasn't paying any attention. But the last week we went on a field trip to the farm, and we were able to see some animals. I had a very nice leather jacket on, and a cow tried to eat my jacket. And it hurt Wes'
That
feelings.
was his cousin.
Yeah, it hurt Wes' feelings that we as people can eat cows, but cows don't eat people. And so he very innocently said, "Mommy, I don't want to eat animals anymore. Animals are my friend." And being the mom that I am, I said, "Okay, yes, sir, I'm going to support you on this." And finding healthy alternatives, solutions, no soy, no beans outside of the navy bean, keeping in accord with our teachings on how to eat to live, and just constantly studying. Wes, unfortunately he had allergies and asthma as a child a little bit, and I was able to juice him off of that, and to get him some juices so he no longer has allergies and asthma. Just being at the emergency room at 2 a.m. alone with your child on a respirator, it just wasn't fun. And asking people if they have any albuterol or steroids for my child, because I didn't have it. And I just made every effort to take him off of those allergies and asthma. And it worked through our diet, through eating according to how to eat to live. I take it a little bit more. Any type of cold or fever, we're not exempt from them. And no medicine for Wes, no medicine for myself. If I had a headache, it doesn't matter. And I would make us some juice with some turmeric or some ginger, put it in our soup, the turmeric in our soup. And I just encourage Wes. I encourage Wes on everything, even when he was younger, to encourage him to eat spinach and say, like, well, Papa the Salaman eats spinach. And student minister Nori is one of our greatest teachers and one of his admirers. And I said, imagine if you could freeze time and you could stay youthful all your life just by practicing how to eat to live. And also being the example. I've eaten one meal every other day. I enjoy fasting. I did a 21-day water fast. And just being the example, just being the example for him, and never shortchanging him. If he wanted a bag of chips, I would always encourage him to go with the one that had the least amount of ingredients. If he wanted to eat out, finding the best restaurants that support our diet and the way that we eat. And again, I don't know, at this point it almost comes easy. It almost comes easy or natural.
I mean, he said he don't want to eat animals anymore. And you said, I'm gonna support you on this.
Right.
That's big. That's big. That's big. I'm telling you, that's big. Man, and we just work together. That's unity.
Yes,
Wow.
Now, Brother West, in your journey in Islam and your journey in your studies, you're learning and you're being educated on many different platforms. When you're around and among your peers, do you feel that you are becoming a mentor? Do you feel the need to educate your peers with the knowledge that you have?
That's a good question. So, are you asking that in reference to the diet or my evolution entirely?
I'm talking about your evolution in all diet, food, Islam.
Yes, sir.
School, education, all that.
Yes, sir. Well, I would say, as I said before, I am still me. I'm still young. I like to engage in conversation with youth that are my age, sometimes a little bit older, sometimes a little bit younger. And throughout those interactions that I've had, going to school or at the mall, the library, wherever time presents, sometimes as I was younger, I would try to, drop some seeds, or, I think I said that a little directly. Like, for example, at school, it was a teacher. She used to always drink like orange Fanta. And, my mom, she would be telling me basically that, like, the soda with the red 40 dye is not good for you, things like that. So she would be teaching me that, and me going to school, I must have been about 8 years old or so. I used to say, I forgot what her name was. I'll just say, teacher, that juice has red 40 dye in it. When you get older, or the sugar levels on that will catch up with you in the future, things like that. So I would try to encourage. And then, of course, my mom let me know that even though people may do certain things or eat certain things that aren't healthy or the best for them, the best way to really teach them or show them a different way is not to necessarily haggle or badger them or say things so directly that it can offend them at times, but to be an example by leading the way of the right thing to do. And it's up to them to decide, whether they would like to continue those behaviors or, things they do. And it's no problem if that's how they choose to live. But once you do show them the better way, and we're taught in our teaching that the blood is off your hands at that point.
Come on.
Blood ain't on my hand. That's your red. That's your orange. Yes, sir.
Sir.
Dropping seeds and not being judgmental as part of that as well.
Now, Brother West, are you enjoying this journey? I mean, is it fun?
Yes,
Are you still like you say you're 14?
Yes, sir.
Are you enjoying yourself? in
Yes,
this
sir.
journey. Good. That's very important.
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
So how have you been received from your college peers?
Yes, sir. So that's a good question. I think it's been 2 days, and it's
Plus
been
today's week, a
three,
little bit last
right?
week.
Plus orientation and things like that. So I believe that when we first applied for the school, that somehow a lot of the campus knew that a 14-year-old would be coming to college with them. So I think it's been like hinted at. So a lot of them will come up to me and ask, "Are you that 14-year-old?" Or some of them they want to get a picture, things like that. Or
Right.
some of the female students they'll try to give me a hug, things like that. And of course, that is really nice to feel accepted by my peers, because while I'm not like 10 years old or 8 years old, where I'm not old enough to really know how to direct myself, and it's nice to still have that encouragement to know that you are noticed and that we do appreciate you being here. So when people do ask me, are you that 14-year-old? I say, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am, I am. The brothers, they might want to give me a handshake, things like that. I accept it all because I understand that it's coming from a place of love, a place of support, and I really appreciate those things. And of course, I don't try to, I would say, like, curry it on too long, because I don't really want to let it go to my head. And then, like, walk around like a big man on campus, things like that. So I'm still trying to remain, humble, but those things really do help. And I really appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Now expect a phone call from me and Uncle Ahmed. So we talk
Yes,
about
sir.
the females on campus, bro. We
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
expect a phone call, brother.
Yes, sir.
Praise Allah.
Man, I really like to talk with both of you all night, but we're getting to the closing of the show, and at this point in our show, we're going to go around and give our closing remarks. So, if you would like to start us off, Sister Tia, with your closing remarks for the show.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. I definitely want to thank you all for having us on. And inshallah, that will be a part 2 or part 3 or part 4 for Brother West. He really enjoys being here, and I'm happy to see him in his element. So thank you.
Yes, man. Thank you. And remember, listening audience, please support Sister Tia and her family at $ Tia Courtney. $ Tia Courtney on the Cash App. Whatever you can donate.
Sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Tia. Brother West?
Yes, sir. Well, I definitely enjoyed being on the show. I think it was great giving my mom a chance to finally tell a little bit of her story. And of course, she didn't tell you everything. It's definitely more that she could give you, more guidance. So whenever y'all need a part 2, part 3, we definitely appreciate it. But this was definitely a great platform. I'm a fan of the show myself, of course. These are my uncles here. So it's always great spending time with you all. And yes, if you would like to support anything, is greatly appreciated. Of course, there is no compulsion in this, Mom. So we're not, asking for $1 million checks, things like that. But whatever's in your heart, we would greatly appreciate it. You would like to show your support. And we thank you for having us on the show to just give a little bit of motivation, a little bit of good news from the Black community, Nation of Islam. So,
absolutely.
Yes, sir.
And if you could, Brother West, I know you're still in your journey, but if you could give a word to young brothers and sisters who are striving, who may be looking at you like, hey, I need to step up, I can do this as well. A word of encouragement to the youth that may view this
Yes,
show.
sir. So I have been asked that question before, like, how did you get to this standpoint, or how did you achieve these things at a young age? Or others, when they do learn about these things that I've been able to do, some of them, they may feel a little, I wouldn't say bad for themselves, but they just take that moment to reflect on the things that they could do better, or the things that they would still like to do in the future. So what I like to say to those young brothers and young sisters that are out there is that the brother you see before you is just, I'm a young brother myself, and the things that I've been able to do with the help of my mother, the help of Allah, the help of my community, and it's not something impossible that you can't do. So whatever you would like to achieve, if it is high school at a young age that you would like to go to, if you would like to start your own business, if you would like to get on the rostrum on Sundays, those things that you would like to accomplish in the future are not impossible. And you have my every support. And I just hope that me being here is not one of those moments where it's like, look at your cousin. Why can't you be more like him? I hope it's not like that, but it's showing you that it is possible to do these things. And we, the brothers, Nation of Islam, the sisters that are in your community, we're here to help you to get where you want to go. So, yes, sir. That's what I want to say.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah.
Well said, brother.
Brother Kawi?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for taking our invitation to come to the show.
Yes, sir.
Brother West, at 14 years old, brother, I was trying to find my way around the halls of Mays High School, and I was lost.
Yes,
I was getting picked on by juniors and seniors,
oh, yes, sir.
constant basis, brother, just trying
Yes,
to figure it out. And here you are, already in college at the same age. I have no idea the journey that you're on, brother. I have nothing for you in terms of how to conduct yourself. It's just to keep Islam at the forefront of your thoughts.
Yes, sir.
All generals are always in effect, brother.
Yes, sir.
You got uncles right here that you can always call on at any time for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And Sister T, I absolutely give you an original salute for you being like super strong. You're a super strong mother. Very you really pay attention to your children. I mean, you take paying attention to the next level, and that's a great example for me, because a lot of times as a parent, I'm into what I'm into, and I don't necessarily hear my son or hear my daughter or any youth, but maybe I should just stop what I'm doing and just listen to them, because if you just listen to West gave you the answers that you needed to guide him to this point, if that's all it took, just to listen, I'm gonna try that. And so I just pray to other parents that's listening, just listen to your children, and I guess you'll be amazed at what you can discover if you just pay attention to what they have to say. So you're a beautiful example of parenting.
Thank you.
I really pray that more people can view this show and pick up that nugget. Well, just keep doing what you're doing, brother. I want to see that PhD at 18, brother.
Yes,
I want
sir.
to in 4 more years, since I got my doctorate at 18 years old. So that's what I got for you. Thank you again. Sure.
Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. Brother Jackie?
Yes, sir. Man, brother and sister, we are very proud of both of you all. Definitely, we are in your corner. Your uncles is here.
Yes, sir.
Every week. Whatever you need, man. But we gotta talk though. We definitely want to talk. And I mean, you in a different world, but I mean, you can handle it. A lot of it doesn't put anything on your shoulder that you can't handle. So you ready for it. You already focused. We sometimes we may slip, but we brush ourselves off when we get up and we go to Allah first.
That's right.
And you speak to him, you tell him exactly what's going on, and he'll give it to you. He'll guide you through your mother, those around you. He will guide you. Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Give it to him. Just like you did. You said all praise is due to Allah. Thankful for my mother. That keeps you humble. That will keep you in your state where you are. But definitely though, you still gonna walk heavy on the earth now. You're not gonna be timid.
No, sir.
Yeah, we're gonna walk heavy on the earth, but you do it with humility. Definitely do it with humility because you give it to God first.
Yes, sir.
But walk heavy though. Walk heavy, soldier. We need examples of black men, black boys walking heavy. We don't have to. We don't want to walk timid. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I'm just 14. No, I'm 14. I'm not
That's
just.
right. That's
14.
right.
Yes,
But I'm
sir.
Brother West, Muhammad. You know.
Yes, sir.
So hold your head up high, keep your chest out, stomach in,
Sir.
and then if some, you got uncles that's watching.
Yes, sir, for sure.
Definitely,
I
bro.
definitely appreciate that.
Definitely proud of both of you all, man. Good job, Sister Tia. I like the way you support him, though. That was big. That was a big statement. I'm gonna support you on this. It's a big statement, and you acted on it. You was the example of it. So praise be to Allah. Thank you all for that. All right, Ahmed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. And I'd like to say thank you all for coming on and taking time out of your schedule because I know you have a lot going on. It's a Tuesday night and school and work. And we thank you for coming on to support the Jock Brothers, but we can support you and you can give our audience and listening audience just a look into the life of a 14-year-old and that's going into college and the mother who supports him. So thank you all for joining our show tonight. We have one more announcement to make before we end the show. Brother Kawi.
Yes, let's not forget, we have a huge single social that Atlanta is hosting this weekend. This is the weekend for it right here. Again, this is the flyer for the single social. Please register right now. The admission to the social is $40. Look, we about to enter a dark hour. The sister captain asked me, "Do you really want to enter this dark hour as a single man? Do you really want to do that, brother?" So that was enough motivation for me to say, you know what, sister, I'm going to attend that single social.
Sure.
I mean, it's just that simple. And so, if you need any information about the social, I don't have the registration. Uh,
What about your phone number? What about your phone number?
right. Give me a buzz. Give me a call. My number 404-671-5681. I get the link over to you as soon as you call. So please, this weekend in Atlanta, single social. If you're looking for you a king, this is the place to be. And if you're looking for you a queen, this is the place to be. Praise. So once again, 404-671-5681. I look forward to those calls. Thank you.
And as we leave the platform, Brother Jackie, could you just show the businesses as well? The supporters of Jock Brothers.
I don't see him there, brother. You got to help me out on that one. Oh. Here we go. This is the book, Bilal and the Bullies, by our author, Brother Ahmed. If you want to order this, go to Amazon, or you can go to those www.bipublishing.com. I can't see it. Okay, here we go. This is my dumpster business. If you need dumpster rental in the Atlanta metro area, please give us a call, 404-957-7639. If you're doing a move out or you're doing a remodeling, you need a dumpster, give us a call. And there's one more slide that's missing. Okay, Brother Kawi, and that's his number if you want to call him about the single social, or if you need a home. If you need a home to buy in the Atlanta area or just in Georgia or anywhere in the United States, right, Brother Kawi? Is it anywhere or is it just Georgia? Help me out.
I specialize in Georgia, but you
specialize in Georgia, and that's commercial or
residential.
Just residential. Okay, praise be to Allah. All right, so that's Brother Kawi number. Thank you, Brother Ahmed.
Thank you, Brother Jackie. And please support our businesses. Please support the Jock Brothers, 7 p.m. Tuesday nights. And you can also view us on YouTube for any shows. just go to Jock Brothers. Just go to Jock Brothers on YouTube, and you can see our shows we've been airing for about 4 years now. Thank you all for taking time out of your schedules. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.